The peace inside Jack and Tu Tien's cozy little home was violently shattered when Tu Li's abusive and scheming husband abruptly showed up, wearing a deceitful mask of a pitiful, doting husband worried sick about his wife. Tan tried to convince Jack that he had always provided for Lu, making sure she lacked nothing. Yet, he grumbled. She wouldn't, quote, run away over the slightest things, and quote, despite being heavily pregnant and nearing her due date. Claiming he had searched far and wide, Tan pretended he had tracked down their address just to ask if they knew where she was. Little did Tan know, his web of lies was entirely in vain. Jack and Tu Tien had long since heard Tu Lu herself sob out the bitter truth of the wretched treatment she endured under his roof. Seeing right through the man standing before them, but prioritizing the absolute safety of Tu Lu, who was currently taking refuge in a remote, secure location, the couple executed a flawlessly synchronized front. On the surface, they maintained a polite reception, but their eyes and words were ironclad. They firmly maintained that ever since they handed Lu back to his family, she had never returned to the farm, and they had absolutely no idea where she was. Unable to do anything, Tan had no choice but to leave in a huff. But his suspicious parting glance at the gate boded ill. He had caught on to their guarded behavior and the silent, knowing glances exchanged between Jack and Tu Tien. Inside his deeply paranoid mind, a dark realization immediately took root. Those two are definitely colluding to hide Lu here. They're playing me. It was this very fatal suspicion that triggered the terrifying events of the following day. The next morning, Jack and Tu Tien's farm awoke to a somber, stifling atmosphere. Gray, heavy clouds rolled in from the distant horizon, blotting out the usual brilliant sunshine like an omen of an impending storm. A thick morning dew clung to the leaves of the honey pineapples harvested just the day before, releasing a crisp scent that contrasted sharply with the suffocating tension in the air. A few dozen meters away from the road leading into the farm, a figure crouched low, skulking in the shadows. It was Tan. The obsession and fury from the previous day and Appo's unresolved conversation had gnawed at his mind through a long, sleepless night. He refused to let it go. He swore to himself that he would prove he was right, catch his runaway wife red-handed, and rip the mask off those two hypocritical farm owners. Returning this time, Tan didn't march through the main gate with his previous air of dignity. Instead, he chose the approach of a stalker, a paranoid old fox. Dressed in dark clothes, he stealthily slipped along the dirt path behind the bamboo grove, using the dense bushes and high earthen banks to cloak his movements. From this vantage point, he had a clear view of the entire front yard, the main house, and the path leading to the back garden without risking detection. Standing dead still, his small, bloodshot eyes darted frantically across the property, scanning for the slightest movement. Out in the yard, Jack was bent over, troubleshooting a handheld lawnmower. The engine roared with a dry, harsh sputter a few times before dying out, seemingly suffering from a minor mechanical glitch after last night's heavy rain. Under the veranda, Tu Tien was moving briskly, organizing farming tools in preparation for tending the new batch of crops. It was an entirely ordinary scene, the steady rhythm of farm life unfolding just like any other day. Tan patiently stayed hidden behind the thicket for over an hour. The early morning breeze blew cold, yet cold sweat continuously beaded on his forehead. He strained his ears and eyes, desperately searching for a familiar silhouette, a heavily pregnant belly, or any unusual sound coming from the back rooms. But there was absolutely no trace of Tu Lu. The house belonged solely to Jack and Tu Tien. The space was so quiet that the only sounds were the birds chirping in the branches and the rhythmic clinking of Jack's tools. What little patience a boorish man like Tan possessed began to evaporate with each passing minute. His failure to unearth any concrete evidence infuriated him. The infuriating sensation of being led by the nose and made a fool of swelled inside his chest. To vent his frustration and bolster his courage before acting, Tan had stopped at a roadside stall on his way over and downed several glasses of cheap rice wine. Now, under the oppressive morning air and the hopeless weight, the alcohol began to seep deep into his bloodstream, rushing straight to his brain. His face flushed a deep, violent crimson, his ears burned, and the veins at his temples throbbed relentlessly. His mind wavered as logic was completely consumed by the alcohol and his own selfish rage. Unable to bear watching from the dark any longer, Ton stumbled out of the bushes. His posture was no longer the sycophantic act of yesterday. Instead, he carried the aggressive, reckless, and wild bravado of an uncontrolled drunk. Stamping his feet heavily onto the dirt, he marched fiercely into the center of the courtyard. The heavy thud of his footsteps and the pungent stench of alcohol immediately drew the attention of those inside. Jack snapped his head up, his thick brows knitting tightly together at the sight of the uninvited guest. He set his screwdriver down and stood up straight, a towering pillar of strength. Tu Tien emerged from the house, her expression catching a moment of shock before instantly hardening into high alert as she took in Ton's thuggish, alcohol-soaked demeanor. The moment he stepped onto the porch, Ton slammed his hands onto his hips, glared daggers straight into their faces, and barked in a harsh, domineering tone. End quote. You two, freeze right there. Don and Oppose. Do you dare play dumb with me anymore? I came here today to settle the score. Speak up. What corner of this house is Lo hiding in? If you know what an Oppose, S good for you. Hand her over right now, or Don and Oppose. T blame me for being ruthless. End quote. Ton's voice was raspy and loud enough to startle the birds, sending them scattering from the trees. He took 2 aggressive steps forward, thrusting a calloused finger directly into Tu Tien's face, demanding answers. End quote. Miss Tu Tien, Don and Oppose. You act all pure and hypocritical with me. I already saw through you and your husband and Oppose's shady behavior yesterday. Lu is a coward by nature. Without you guys harboring her and backing her up, how would she dare vanish without a trace for months like this? You and Oppose, retrying to kidnap my wife and tear my family apart, aren't an Oppose. Tu. End quote. Faced with the aggression and blatant slander of the drunkard, Jack instantly stepped forward, using his broad, solid frame to completely shield Tu Tien behind him. Jack's eyes hardened like cold steel, and his voice boomed, calm and deep, yet carrying an unyielding, commanding authority. End quote. Mr. Ton, have some self-respect. My wife and I gave you a perfectly clear answer yesterday. I will repeat this one last time. Since the day we brought Lo back to your house, she has not set foot on this farm again. Your wife leaving is your own family matter. If you can and Oppose, find her at home, look elsewhere. Do not come here slinging mud and making ridiculous scenes. End quote. Standing behind Jack, though her heart raced at the sheer unpredictability of a dangerous drunk, Tu Tien and Oppose's resilience and sense of justice refused to let her back down. She peeked out from behind Jack and Oppose's shoulder, staring straight into Ton and Oppose's flushed face, her voice sharp and resolute. End quote. That and Oppose's right. Mr. Ton, look at yourself. Do you look like a husband seriously searching for his wife? You are roaring drunk, crashing onto someone else and Oppose's property and screaming. We are under no obligation to you, nor are we hiding anyone. You can leave the exact same way you sneaked in. Our farm does not welcome troublemakers. End quote. Their words hit Ton like buckets of ice water, but instead of sobering him up, they only fanned the flames of his psychotic rage. The alcohol boiled up his throat. His fragile ego as a patriarchal bully was severely bruised by being lectured and dismissed by 2 people younger than him. Ton let out a guttural roar like a wounded beast, his teeth grinding furiously. End quote. Oh, you kids think you and Oppose so clever. You think because this is your turf, you can use fancy words to push me around? Fine, you claim you Don and Oppose. Tino? If you Don and Oppose, Tino, I and Oppose, I'll find out myself. He grabbed the wooden tea table sitting in the middle of the porch, where Jack and Tu Tien had sat just the night before, peacefully drinking tea and talking, and flipped it over with all his might. Crash! The table slammed violently onto the concrete floor. The entire tea tray and the porcelain cups smashed against the ground, shattering with a deafening, piercing crunch. Jagged shards of porcelain scattered everywhere across the floor, glinting under the overcast sky. Not stopping there, like a man possessed, Tan kicked wildly at the potted plants and flower trays that Tu Tien had meticulously nurtured and lined along the hallway. Terracotta pots shattered in rapid successions. Dirt flew everywhere, and fresh green sprouts were crushed into the mud. End quote. I and Oppos, LL smash it. I and Oppos. LL smash this entire farm to pieces and see if you finally spit her out. Let and Oppos. See if La crawls out of her hole. End quote. Tan shrieked as he tore the place apart, his voice cracking with madness. His hand caught the sharp edge of a broken shard, slicing his skin open, but wrapped in his delusion, he didn't and Oppos. He even seemed to feel the pain, beholding the chaotic wreckage, seeing their hard work and the sanctity of their home violently desecrated in the blink of an eye. Tu Tien was overcome with profound heartache and righteous fury. She couldn't and Oppos. Just stand by and watch this criminal run rampant. End quote. Stop it right now. You lunatic. What right do you have to break into my house and destroy our things? Stop it. End quote. Tu Tien made a move to grab Tan and Oppos' arm, but Jack, with the lightning reflexes and steady composure of a mature man, caught her by the shoulder and pulled her safely back behind him. He knew that when dealing with a drunkard in the throes of a psychotic episode, letting a woman get within arm and Oppos' reach was incredibly dangerous. Jack's eyes shifted from calm to a terrifying, deadly coldness. The aura of a man seasoned by hardship, who had managed massive construction projects, completely surged to the surface. Jack took long, decisive strides toward Tan. Just as Tan lifted a wooden chair, aiming to hurl it through the glass window, Jack closed the distance from behind. With his robust build and hands as strong as iron vices, Jack struck with surgical precision. He locked Tan and Oppos' shoulders and pinned both arms firmly behind his back while forcing his weight down. Caught off balance, Tan buckled, and the wooden chair dropped uselessly to the floor. With a powerful thrust, Jack shoved Tan away from the porch, sending the drunk stumbling backward before collapsing hard into the dirt and mess in the middle of the yard. Jack stood tall on the threshold, looking down at the panting man on the ground with eyes as sharp as razors. He enunciated every single word, his voice low but vibrating with immense gravity and an ironclad threat. End quote. I am warning you for the absolute last time, Tan. Look at what you and Oppos' just done. This is private property. This is our home. Your actions just now constitute illegal destruction of property and felony disturbing the peace. If you Don and Oppos' sober up and get out of this gate right this second. All pleasantries are out the window. My wife and I will call the local police immediately to file a report and have you hauled away. Let and Oppos' see how loudly you demand your wife when you and Oppos' re-sitting inside a jail cell. Don and Oppos' turn yourself into a convict over this. Don and Oppos' push this to a point where there is no turning back. End quote. Jack's unyielding threat, paired with the chilling look in his eyes, felt like a bucket of freezing water poured over Tan's head, cutting straight through his alcohol-induced haze. The words end quote, police end quote, and end quote, convict end quote, possessed an invisible, sobering power. Tan froze, his screams choking in his throat. He looked up at Jack and Oppos' imposing figure, then over at Tu Tien standing beside him, her phone already in hand, her face completely devoid of fear. Only pure resolve. Tan knew this couple meant exactly what they said. If the police actually showed up, looking at the path of destruction he left behind, he would undeniably be the one facing charges. Though fear began to creep in, his stubborn, fragile ego wouldn't and oppose. To allow him to swallow his pride and apologize. He scrambled to his feet from the dirt and sand, dust brushing his clothes in a disheveled mess. Slinking back toward the gate. The safe distance allowed him to reclaim a shred of his lingering hostility. Pointing a trembling finger at Jack and Tu Tien, he spat a bitter threat before retreating. Equat. Fine. Very well. You two remember this day. This ISN and oppose. Tea over between us. You think because you have a bit of education and the law on your side you can bully me? Let and oppose. See how long you can hide Lou. I and oppose. LL watch you. I and oppose. LL find her eventually. Just you wait. End quote. Having thrown out his final face-saving words, Ton turned around furiously, stumbling as he hurried out of the farm gates. His figure vanished down the dirt road, leaving behind a heavy, deafening silence. Once the troublemaker had completely disappeared, Tu Tien finally let out a long sigh of relief, but a deep wave of sorrow instantly washed over her as she looked down at the wreckage around her feet. The courtyard was a disaster zone of porcelain shards, scattered soil, and crushed seedlings. Jack stepped closer, placing a hand on Tu Tien and Oppo's shoulder, giving it a gentle squeeze of comfort and reassurance. End quote. Are you all right, Tu Tien? Did any of the shards hit you? End quote. Tu Tien shook her head, letting out a soft sigh. End quote. I and Oppo's. Fine, Jack. Thank goodness you stopped him in time. I and Oppo's. Just sad about the plants and the tea said I loved most. But look at him. He is so violent and devoid of reason. Iam truly terrifiet fortule. If she had been the one facing him today, I can and Oppose. T imagine what horrific thing would have happened. He suspects us now. He definitely won and Oppose. T stop here. End quote. Jack stared out toward the gate, his eyes deep and contemplative. End quote. You and Oppose. Rewrite. Ton is inherently selfish, paranoid, and abusive. And when he and Oppose drunk, he loses all touch with reality. The fact that he came back proves this place is no longer a safe zone for any information regarding Lou. We must be exceptionally vigilant in the coming days. As soon as we clean this up, I and Oppose will call our contacts down there and instruct them to tighten security around Lou, ensuring absolutely no news leaks out. As for our farm, I and Oppose LL install more security cameras and tell the construction crew to keep a sharp eye out for anyone loitering around. End quote. Tu Tien nodded in agreement, though a lingering trace of anxiety remained in her heart. Seeing Jack's calm, thorough, and decisive demeanor caused her fear to quickly dissipate. Together, the two set to work cleaning up the aftermath. Jack gathered the broken wood and righted the overturned table, while Tu Tien meticulously collected the shattered porcelain pieces, gently trying to salvage the surviving sprouts. The drunkard's storm had passed, but it only served to forge an even deeper bond between Jack and Tu Tien. They understood that in a world fraught with injustice and danger, standing firm together to protect what is right and shield the vulnerable like Tulu was the most beautiful value they were building every single day beneath the roof of their farm.
Xin chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Nay thì mình mang tới một video tiếp theo về câu chuyện của Tử Tiên và Rắc nha mọi người. Như mọi người cũng đã biết thì trước đó Tử Tiên và Rắc thì có cứu một cô gái đang có bầu tên là Lệ. Thì sau này thì chồng của cô ta thì rất là phiền nhiễu vì anh ta là một cái nát rượu. Sau khi mà vợ mình bỏ đi tìm không được thì biết Tử Tiên và Rắc đã từng giúp Lệ trước đó thì đã tìm đến cũng như là làm phiền Vậy thì liệu Jack và Tử Tiên sẽ xử lý việc này ra sao? Trong khi Jack và Tử Tiên đã nói rằng là không có liên quan gì đến Lệ, và Lệ cũng đã rời đi từ lâu, nhưng anh ta vẫn tìm cách, thậm chí còn lợi dụng cái tình trạng say xỉn của mình để đập phá và khiến cho Tử Tiên bị thương. Jack thì muốn gọi công an nhưng mà Tử Tiên thì đã ngăn lại. Vậy thì liệu anh ta đã kết thúc cái hành trình tìm vợ của mình chưa, hay lại còn đến để tìm kiếm và làm phiền nữa? Thì mời mọi người đón xem những tập tiếp theo trên kênh mình nhé. Tạm biệt.